Oh, Catherine, I drank too much at the after-work party. Come and get me now.
Are you at your workplace now?
No, I'm at a bar near the office. If we drank at our office, that would just be a big cleaning job. We would get yelled at, right?
Oh, you're at that bar. That bar is right across the street from the train station. I just got done with my work, and I'm tired too. Can't you find your own way home?
Stop complaining. I told you to come pick me up. Just shut up and pick me up.
Okay, I will. I'll get the car and come and pick you up.
Oh, yeah. Could you tell my parents that I stayed late for work?
Won't they think you're working for a bad company if you say that you were working late because your company told you to? Is it that bad to tell them that you stayed after work and went out drinking?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Well, then I will drink one more beer while I wait for you to get here.
That's not what I meant. Please don't drink too much, Jacob.
Okay.
Jacob? Where are you? Did you go out?
I'm at the racetrack.
What? Again? If you use our money at the racetrack, we can't get it back.
I feel like I'm going to win today. Don't be such a nag.
If you were using your own money, I wouldn't say much about it. But you're using most of your salary towards gambling. I work too, so that helps to cover our expenses for our daily lives, but at this rate, we won't be able to save any money.
You're being annoying. Are you contacting me about our trip to the hot spring that starts tomorrow?
Yes, don't we need to get ready? Thomas said he's already packed in and ready to go.
Thomas just started working this year, so he still doesn't have any money. He can't afford to go anywhere or do anything.
I think that sitting at home being bored is better than spending money at the racetrack.
Stop being so annoying. You can pack my suitcases for me. I'll leave it all up to you.
Okay, then I'm going to pack what I think you need in your suitcase for you. But don't complain later. Last year was our honeymoon. This is our first real family vacation. I can't believe you're putting it all on me.
Are you nervous or something?
Yes? Well, this time your whole family is going on vacation with us. It won't be just the two of us. It's a 2-night stay starting on New Year's Eve, and isn't it supposed to be a rather gorgeous hot springs?
I don't know if I would say gorgeous. The place we are staying belongs to someone that my parents know. So we always get a discount.
Oh, it belongs to someone that's acquainted with your parents? I'm getting even more nervous and uncomfortable about this trip.
Don't overthink. It's not like the owners are related to us or anything. Oh, that reminds me. I have to tell you something.
Oh, what is it?
Thomas is now working, and he's an adult now. I'm going to let him do the driving to and from the hot springs.
Is that a good idea? I'm worried about insurance coverage.
I'm not going to not do any of the driving, and I'm going to be drinking alcohol. So you will have to be the backup driver. And don't complain that my car is too big that you don't want to drive it.
It's a 7-passenger vehicle. It's pretty big. Well, I do drive pretty regularly. As long as we aren't driving on any narrow roads, I should be okay. And there is a backup camera on the car too.
Alright. If something happens, then the cost of the repairs will come from your money.
Well, I don't want to get blamed for things later. Let's inspect the car for any damages or scratches before we leave for our trip.
Dang it. I lost because of your text message yesterday. And I ran out of cigarettes. You interrupted me over nothing when I was busy.
That's why I told you to stop being at the racetrack. Because you lose money.
I thought I was going to win.
But we are in the same car at the moment. Why are you texting me from the back seat?
Because of your nagging, Thomas won't be able to focus on his driving.
Perhaps.
And if something happens to my car, I'm going to be beyond angry. It is awesome to be able to be drinking a whiskey sour during the daytime.
Oh, really? We are still traveling, so please don't drink too much. By the way, as I listen to you and Thomas talk, is this hot springs trip an annual family event?
No, not every year, but we do go frequently. Maybe we go every 2 or 3 years.
When did you guys start going?
I think the first time we went was right after I got my driver's license. I think I was 18. I was only a college student then. But my father made me drive while he sat in the passenger seat drinking beer.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, it seems. So you guys have been going for over 10 years then? You're 30 years old now, right?
Yeah, I guess it's been going on for a while now. I guess the old lady at the resort is an even older lady now.
By old lady, are you referring to your parents' friend? You shouldn't refer to her in such a way.
We didn't come last year, so the old lady will welcome us happily this year.
Was the reason why you didn't go to the hot springs last year was because of our overseas wedding and our honeymoon?
It wasn't our fault. It was because Thomas hadn't found a job before the New Year's last year.
I'm glad to hear that. Well, at least Thomas has a job now. I'm glad he found a good job.
He's still living at home with our parents, though. That's so embarrassing for a man.
But we also live with your parents.
It's good to be the oldest son. Because I'm obligated to live with my parents as the oldest son.
Obligated?
Of course. Because it is also an obligation for the wife of the oldest son to take care of his parents.
Is that so? Hey, Jacob. I have a question.
What is it?
I heard your mom reserved 2 rooms. I was wondering if we were separating by gender? At least that's what I was thinking, but it seems that it might actually be a different arrangement.
What's the question?
I thought this was a family vacation. There's a reservation for a large suite for everyone else, but why am I in a separate room by myself?
My mom was probably thinking of you because you're my wife. You should be grateful that she got you your own room.
You're leaving me out? I came because I was told it was a family vacation.
But you aren't family.
What?
Yeah, because you aren't connected to us by blood. Therefore, you aren't family. But we still brought you, so be thankful.
You're saying that as your wife, I'm not your family.
Of course. A wife is like a servant that works for free. On top of that, you also bring in your own salary. That really worked out for me.
Is that what you really think of me?
Oh, my father says that his shoulders hurt. I guess because of the long trip. Come over to our room and rub my father's shoulders. And go buy some liquor as well. Go, hurry up.
I want to go see my family too.
What are you talking about?
I'm gonna go back home and see my parents. Have a happy New Year's.
Hey, Catherine. Hey, Catherine.
I don't feel like talking with you this morning.
Hey, did you seriously just leave on your own yesterday? And in my car? Of course you were coming to pick us up tomorrow, right?
I think there's one thing you need to correct. You were the one who used the car normally. But I was the one who paid for it, and it's registered to my name. So it's actually my car. So there is no problem if I drove the car back home.
No, your car is the old junker.
Actually, that's your car. I bought my car with a one-time payment in cash prior to our marriage. You said that a wife shouldn't drive a better car than her husband. And you complained that it's not right. And then you just took my car from me and left me with the junker.
It doesn't matter whose car is whose. We're coming home tomorrow. You are picking us up, right?
Why would I come and pick up people who are not my family or my spouse? You could use a rental car or the train to get home.
What are you saying, Catherine? We're married. We're family, aren't we?
No, I'm just an outsider. I just filed our divorce papers.
What? I don't understand.
Why are you having trouble understanding something so simple? We are now divorced. I am currently at your house, but I'm here to gather my belongings. Don't worry, I'll return my copy of the key when I'm finished.
Wait. This is completely one-sided. Why do we have to get divorced?
I thought we were a married couple until yesterday, but you and your family decided to treat me like an outsider. As an outsider, I do not have an obligation to take care of you guys.
How could you be an outsider? We're a married couple.
Yep, until yesterday.
Yesterday, you came up with us to the hot springs for vacation.
But I had my own room, separate from the rest of the family, and my meals were to be taken separately. On top of that, I was told that I am like a servant that doesn't need to be paid. It was a very clarifying moment, to realize I am not considered a part of the family.
But my mother was the only one who made the reservations. It's my mother's fault. It's a misunderstanding. Of course you are a part of the family.
Oh? But you were the one who said that I wasn't part of the family.
Really? I said something like that?
It's bad enough of my in-laws to treat me like an outsider, but to have my own husband treat me like an outsider, of course I would want to separate from you. And that is why I just submitted the divorce paperwork.
I won't sign any divorce papers. The divorce papers that you filed are invalid.
Oh? Did you forget that you filled out a copy of divorce paperwork before?
I remember no such thing.
Oh, you forgot about that. It was about a year ago.
A year ago? That's when we're newlyweds? There's no way I would have filed our divorce papers then.
You brought home the paperwork from the courthouse. Maybe you don't remember because you were drunk?
The divorce papers. The conversation from yesterday. Can't be used against me because I was drunk. I don't remember.
You're really a bad drunk. It doesn't matter if you were drunk and you don't remember. You signed the divorce documents. You said, "If you make me mad, I'll serve you with these divorce papers."
But that doesn't mean you can just go ahead and turn the papers in.
All I did was turn in the paperwork that was already filled out.
You can't just go doing selfish things.
You're not a very good listener. The divorce papers were successfully filed and the divorce is already final. Just give up.
What am I supposed to do?
We were both working and we weren't financially dependent on each other. It won't impact our finances. I don't think your life will change that much without me, right?
But I don't have a car. I'm going to be a divorcee.
I will also be a divorcee as well. And you will still have that junker of a car.
You're really going to take the other car?
It's my car.
I'm supposed to commute to work in that crappy car?
Didn't you do it before?
You aren't going to ask for alimony, are you?
Well, there is the pain and suffering that I have endured from your emotional abuse. I'm sure you will be able to afford the alimony.
You have got to be kidding. I don't have that kind of money. This entire thing has to be a joke. Including the divorce and everything. This is all a joke, right? Right, Catherine?
I think it's too early in the year to joke about something like this. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Happy New Year's!
There's nothing happy about it. What is all this? It's just the beginning of the year.
I'm gonna sound like an old nag, but... Jacob, you should cut back on the smoking, drinking, and gambling. You make pretty decent money. If you quit all those things, you'll be able to afford yourself a nice car.
Are you really going to ask for alimony? You wouldn't do something like that, really, would you? I mean, we were married.
I'm asking for alimony because we were married and you were emotionally abusive. If you aren't willing to pay, I'll go to court and have them withhold the alimony from your paychecks.
You would have it withheld? Are you evil?
You live with your parents. You aren't going to struggle or anything. And your father still works.
You mean I'm supposed to ask my parents to take care of me at my age?
Yeah, 30. That is kind of embarrassing.
Please, don't make me dependent on my parents.
So, if you give up smoking, drinking, and gambling, you should be able to save up money to put towards a house, don't you think? Even though drinking alcohol might be a social activity, smoking and gambling are only harmful.
It's impossible to just quit those things.
You are so weak-willed. I'm so glad we didn't have any children together. I wouldn't want them to grow up with secondhand smoke.
So, we're really divorced? You won't even meet up with me.
I'm willing to meet you if you're giving me my alimony payment.
Is it all about money? You're a jerk. Don't you know that?
Even though I married you, I was forced to go live with your parents. You made it seem like you paid for the repairs around the house. But in reality, you used a lot of my savings for the payments. Don't you think it's fair that you pay me back some of that money through alimony?
Fine. Whatever. You can do whatever you want. I had no idea that you were this much of a petty woman. Make sure you are gone before my family and I return.
Our divorce is already finalized, and I just placed my copy of the house key into the mailbox. You don't seem to get it. Oh wait, are you hungover? Well, goodbye.
Hold up, wait. How are we supposed to get back home from the hot springs?
Why don't you call a taxi?
Hey, Catherine, you don't have me blocked, do you? Please answer me.
I want to block you as soon as I can, but until our mediation is over, I won't. And have you been able to quit your smoking and the gambling?
I haven't stopped. The stress from you taking my car is too much.
The car is registered to me. You never paid a cent towards it. No matter how you look at it, it's my car. And I bought it before we were married, so the registration is under my maiden name too. It smells so badly because you smoked inside the car. I should ask you to pay to have it cleaned.
The car should be joint marital property.
I bought it before our marriage, so it's completely 100% mine. The insurance would only cover my spouse and me. I was surprised that you let Thomas drive the car. It was insanity.
Forget it. I don't want to talk about the car anymore. More importantly, I got a letter from the court. What is this? It says that I have to appear at court next week?
Ugh, could you read the subject line correctly?
Something about the mediation regarding the alimony payments? So, it's about money then.
Yep. Make sure to read it and show up to court.
Shut up. Who would want to go anyway? I'm too busy to go.
But you have time to go to the racetrack, right?
Shut up. Catherine, answer my calls. I told you to pick up.
I hate this bossy attitude. It's annoying. I don't know why I didn't block you. What do you want? I'm working right now.
I received a notice from the court stating that our case has ended. The letter says that I owe you $10,000 in alimony? That's an insane amount.
Oh, good. You got the notice. I'm going to guess that you didn't go to the court that day. So my request for the alimony amount went through the court without any opposition.
What?
My lawyer told me to take a chance and see if the amount would be approved by the courts. I requested a large alimony amount. I mean, I did tell you to go to court that day. It isn't a realistic alimony account, but thanks to your lack of follow-through, I was granted the $10,000 alimony amount.
I really have to pay this amount?
Our case is already finished, so it is what it is. Remember, the courts can also seize your property to make payments towards your alimony payment amount.
There's no way I can pay that amount.
You could always take out a loan to pay me. Or do you want to complain and take it back to court? Go hire a lawyer. This is the original amount that was decided upon. I guess it will take a lot of time and money on your part to get it resolved.
Why are you doing this to me? We had loved each other, and we were married. And yet, why?
Maybe you should ask yourself that question.
I don't know.
And because you don't know, that's why I decided to leave you. You idiot. Despite the fact that he still lives with his parents, Jacob has no savings due to his drinking, smoking, and gambling. Of course, he wasn't able to pay the alimony by the due date, and they began to withhold money from his paychecks and to seize his assets. One time, he came to my parents' house to yell at me. I called the police and filed for a restraining order. I blocked him, but I'm sure he's still texting me and cursing me. Before we were married, I remember thinking he looked so handsome and sophisticated when he was smoking. They say love makes you blind. I've been doing a lot of self-reflection. Next time, I'm going to be looking for a nice man that I can start a family with.